Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick look again here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. Just gonna jump into the charts and quickly understand that we had a mild black swan event here. At least that is the general consensus with Meta being shut down there for some time. I'm not sure if it's up again or ever is. I'd be okay with it disappearing forever personally, but regardless of that fact, that is still that's kind of a thing, right? So that there's a big significant gap for Meta effectively getting filled right now, and the price is dropping. So with traditional markets coming down, Bitcoin's kind of seeing that knee-jerk reaction, but we have that instant resistance right off 69,000. Like that is like to the dollar. We can see the exact same price point for Bitcoin getting rejected. Okay, it's really common for that to happen. So does that mean the price is going to drop from here on out? I wouldn't say so, but it does imply if you have a short open, you should probably adjust your stop loss lower to ensure you secure profits, because we don't know how much further the price could come down, but also we don't know if the price is going to instantly recover. It does look like there's a decent amount of support here at the $66,000 mark. And again, the chart's doing very similar to what we expected yesterday, to pull back to bounce off this lower level here. The previous high, of course, is 66,000. That's a previous week close. And then, of course, pivoted, bounced, and essentially rejected hard off of 69K even. So, again, cool stuff. Also cool here, check this out as well. Fantastic results. Solana 117%, ICP 52%, and then, of course, SEI 32%. SEI is a short, ICP is obviously a long, and then same thing with Solana long too. So, congrats on those profits there, folks. What we want to look at, of course, is some back-end data. Let's see what's going on with liquidation levels. We're probably going to have to zoom in a little closer to see what's truly happening here, but this is the 7-day liquidation heat map, effectively letting us know that there's a decent amount of liquidation at about 60 to 58.9. Again, that's a level from last week, honestly. Like the price just took off and hasn't looked back, but those are previous longs effectively at that 58 to 60 mark. Okay, so I was hoping to add to our bags at that lower level, but the prices continue to run. So I've set some limit orders, of course, in the meantime, hoping it does pull back. But hope itself doesn't belong in crypto, right? That's just kind of not really a thing. So I would be careful hoping for the best, but also concurrently make sure you expect the worst. This is the 12-hour time frame. We can kind of see significant amount of liquidation down below the price action. There's some more longs coming in, some late longs that could even be previous longs at about 64,000. Okay, so we could see a wick down to 64K. We kind of already saw a wick all the way down to about 62,600, and this is on Binance Exchange. I noticed that Bitunix, it was only a wick down to like 64.6, something like that, because my limit order didn't get filled. So again, no matter how you look at it, the price is looking like it wants to progress lower, but we're going to find out if it should. So let's double check a few things. To make it really simple, daily time frame still looks bullish, even though we have this pullback. So to clarify, there's nothing bearish about the daily time frame for Bitcoin. We can see, of course, we talked about this yesterday, a stochastic divergence pulling back, and then, of course, RSI kind of plateauing, so to speak, off 85. We can see that this is a little bit lower than the previous, so that does kind of tell us a little something here with the RSI pulling back and the price going up. So that's typically a type of bearish divergence, of course, but again, it's hard to really specify when it's such a small difference, right? Either way, daily time frame here is kind of what we're looking at. Generally speaking, still mostly bullish, but we're starting to see that pullback. We lose 70 on the RSI, we could very well see the price continue lower. Once again, that does typically work as a support level. Okay, so that reaffirms the fact the price comes down to the low 60K range. That we'll probably see some solid support there. So if we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, things are a little interesting here. We can see MACD's diverging officially. This is basically we're 37 minutes into this divergence, right? So it's a little early, but once more, letting us know we have that shift in momentum. We're effectively creating lower lows and lower highs at this moment, and we can see stochastic RSI swinging down, lost 70 in the RSI, and of course, money flow index insanely high. So these are all bearish signs, minus the MFI being tremendously up. Okay, so again, you want to be careful shorting into a high MFI. That's generally the concept. So to me personally, I don't feel confident about this bearish divergence here. I would say, statistically, we have a little bit more likelihood of the price pulling back than ramping up, just based on the overall status of what's going on today, the sentiment, if you will. But we haven't lost any of the moving averages. We're still fairly bullish in the overall sense here. Okay, again, just know there's that shift in momentum occurring, of course, with this essentially being a lower high, even though we did create a higher high here. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting little thing, right? We can kind of say that we're having a broadening wedge pattern where the price action is just getting wider. Depends on how you draw out your candlesticks, of course. Sometimes candle bodies are a little bit better, a little bit more efficient, so you can kind of do something like that. But for right now, we're just going to keep an eye on this here and see what's going on. If we do take a look at Ichimoku Cloud, we can confirm that you should have taken profit on your long position by now. Lagging spends intersecting with the price action, and conversion line, baseline, they're kind of muddled together there, but we are still above the cloud for the moment. Okay, so until we can close, just say like 65K or lower later today, we don't have any reason to run around, Old Town Crier yelling that the sky is going to fall. That's not exactly the case just yet. While it does look bearish with these last 2 hours, anything could honestly happen. And as you've all known in the past here, Bitcoin surprises the heck out of all of us consistently. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a little fake out, get everyone into some shorts, and then of course the price ramps up and destroys a bunch of shorts and just continues on for to 80K plus. I wouldn't be surprised about that, because again, once you break all-time highs, price discovery becomes a very fascinating thing. We're going to have to reverse our fibs and kind of take a look and see roughly what that looks like later. For right now, strictly hypothetical, but I'm not fully convinced that the price is going to drop just yet based on how much buying pressure we have and how little longs we have in the market. I know it sounds weird that there's less longs, but with there being less, that leads me to believe that we have more propensity for the price to go up based on the simple fact that there's no real merit to pushing the price action down with the bears. Okay. Again, different thoughts, of course, but those are not things that I use specifically to take a trade. They're just things that I keep in the back of my mind when I look at the charts and understand it's a contributing factor, right? So generally speaking, we're in a situation right now where I would be patient. I would continue to add to your position as the price goes down. We don't know if we're going to see these prices again. That's just me personally. Again, I'm more of I invest like crazy with Bitcoin on the side. Okay. Now you may be a different person altogether. You may be waiting for 30K. You might be a 16K bear, whatever they are. I realistically don't think we're going to see lower than just say 40 to 50K. There's a possibility. I think it's slim, but there's a possibility we could see the upper 40s to low 50K range retested. If that does happen, then a different conversation altogether. But we do look at the daily time frame here, and I talked about this yesterday. It may not, it still does pull up. Generally speaking, if this is the highest point that Bitcoin goes for the initial ABC pattern for A, we could see as low as 0.618, 0.382. So it's a pretty wide range, but 50 to 57,000 is a possible reality for us here if the price does pull back. Once again, statistically speaking, we should expect that based on previous history and how the halving works, how the price action works into that. But right now, we're seeing a very different situation. Bitcoin ETFs are changing the game, and that really effectively causes a lot more Bitcoin than usual to be bought. So I think that's going to shift things here, and I think that's all the more reason why we shouldn't experience a price action anything lower than, I would think that 50K is probably a better case scenario right now. Again, I'm hoping for 40s because I'm going to add to my position again as well. But generally speaking, consider adding to your position. Like me personally, every $500 increment for Bitcoin, I'm adding 1 to 2,000. That's just literally what I'm doing every single time it comes down. So different strategies for different scenarios. It's up to you and how you want to invest. But me personally, it's a long-term play with Bitcoin, not necessarily just trying to make money off of it right now. Again, that's more so my spot bag. I'm not referring to leverage or any type of trades that way. Okay. Those are different conversations. So for now, that's kind of where we're at here. I would say just wait until today's candle closes. If we do confirm bearish underneath, just say 65,000 or even 66,000 within about 24 to 48 hours leading into mid to end of the week, I think that would be a sign that the price action should continue to shift lower. That would just be a confirming factor that I would look for. Again, is it 100%? No, of course not. But generally speaking, we do have a pretty high success rate. So either way, I hope this made sense. I'll stop rambling here. Make sure again you check out Bitunix Phenomenal Exchange, link down below if you're not already familiar with them. They are excellent, and we use them as a community exclusively because they offer no KYC or VPN, and just their recent upgrades have made things way better. So super happy with that. Thanks again, Bitunix, for the opportunity, for my members, and thank you as well for just being an awesome part of my life. You know who you are. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.